So that's the handsome guy he was telling you about, Kelly. Feast your eyes.
Yeah. If you can squint, you can kind of see.
Our Flag Means Death is yet another show that Michael tricked me into watching.
Our Flag Means Death is a look at the finer side of piracy. Yo ho!
Our Flag Means Death is a cute little fun, witty, kind of fun little show.
Sure. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fallingtower's Watch the First podcast, the podcast in which we watch the first episode of a series so that you don't have to. As you guessed, the finer things in life are brought to you by Michael Kenyon Rosenberg.
Grey Poupon of tea. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Dude, Grey Poupon flavored tea. Yum. Probably not. I bring you the less fine things in life. And with us today, very special guest. She was a pirate in a previous life and probably a future life, Kelly Park.
Yarr!
Oh, I was wrong. So, as you guessed, everybody, we are reviewing Our Flag Means Death, episode 1, entitled Pilot. That is the number one title of all shows ever for the first episodes, Pilot. Yep. However, if people would like us to review a series, Michael, what should they do?
If I were watching this and I wanted us to review, that's the thing I did this last time. If I wanted somebody to review a series, I would write in the comments what series I would want us to review, like WTF, something else. See, now I understand what Ryan goes through, because it's like you don't have anything prepared, so you kind of panic. WTF Transformers, WTF
Smurfs.
I don't know. I was gonna say a different show, but I forgot.
There are so many shows out there.
One of these. Oh, Westworld is the one we haven't reviewed yet.
Also on HBO, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So please put that in the comments below. Tell us what you'd like us to review, and we will. Another great thing is to check out all of the shows we have already reviewed, so you're not wasting your comment on one we've already done. Like if you say WTF, what did we already review? I don't know.
Golden Girls.
WTF
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. Once Upon a Time, that's a good one. That we've got that on the list. But if you'd like to push that list up, everybody in the comments below, say WTF Once Upon a Time. Wait, no, we did review it. I just forgot it.
Yeah, we did do that. Yep. Because I was on.
Kelly was there.
Kelly's like, are you sure we didn't do that? Because I was there. That's right. Very memorable show, everybody. So let's get into it.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, make other comments.
More, especially more comments. Just make it happen,
subscribe.
Guys. So here's the key, everybody. Let's get started with my favorite portion of the show, which is predictions. Michael likes to make up words and call it
predicaments, because we put ourselves in a predicament with our predictions.
And we freshen your breath. So Michael and I have known each other for a long time. We can usually predict if the other person liked it or didn't like it, although I've been a little off lately. And Michael's been pretty good at guessing even the sounds that I make now when watching the show. Like one time there was a show, he's like, I can tell Ryan's watching this going like, and he was right. I did do that.
Yeah.
So Michael, I predict that you loved this show. I predict that you went into this show expecting to love it, wanting to love it, loving it throughout, and being happy that you watched it, and you're going to give it high marks. Kelly, look, you like comedy, you like pirates. I think you're the target audience for this show. I think you also liked it. But Michael, what do you think? What are your predictions?
So Ryan up front said that I tricked him into watching this show.
Yeah.
But I think that he still liked it. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Kelly is a big fan of piracy. And so she also enjoyed this show.
Can we also just say, by the way, that for the record, pirates are big fans of Kelly as well. It's not a one-way street here. Kelly, what do you predict?
Well, I predict that I think that Michael, you normally really like this stuff, and I think that you wanted to like it. I think that you were giving it a chance. I don't think you liked it as much as Ryan says, though. I thought it was just okay. Brian, also, I think that you liked it. I think that you liked it more than Michael did. But I think that I think that you liked it, but you didn't love it.
I was going to say a bold prediction.
Yeah,
then that would have
bold,
been bold. By the way, everybody at home, we forgot to mention we have a second guest today. Kelly, would you like to introduce the second guest that we have today?
This is One-Eyed Jack, aka Nina. She is going to be a month old on Monday. So she is my guest and a half with me, because if I put her down, she'll start crying. And then we're going to have an interesting podcast thing. So, so she likes to close one eye while she's eating, or if she's really tired. So her name is One-Eyed Jack.
Wow, she's a pirate already. So everybody at home, tell Kelly some congratulatory messages and let her know how happy you are. Congratulations, Kelly. We're very happy for you. And thank you so much for joining us again, less than 1 month into motherhood.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
It was like day 2 of motherhood. And we're like, are you ready to come back yet? She's like, just relax. I'll be there when I can.
It's only just had to get past sleep deprivation where I'm like, okay.
That would have made for a good show too. So everybody at home, you've gotten some hints. Michael thinks I didn't like. No, Michael thinks I did like the show.
No,
Kelly,
I think you did like it.
Kelly thinks I liked the show more than Michael. I think Michael liked the show more than Kelly. And Michael thinks that Kelly and I are around even Steven, probably. Even Steven, I should say. So make your predictions now. Michael's going to buy you a little bit of time. Do this in the live chat or in the comments below. Here comes Michael telling us what the show's even about.
Especially the comments below. The year is 1717. Wealthy landowner Stede Bonnet has a midlife crisis and decides to blow up his cushy life to become a pirate. It does not go well. Based on a true story, in this episode, aristocrat turned pirate captain Stede Bonnet is put to the test when his crew encounters a British naval vessel.
Belly buttons. All right. So now that you know and you've made your predictions, everybody, here comes game number 2. It's the big one. It's what we expected versus what we got. We compare and contrast what we expected before we watched the episode with what we actually got when we watched it. Michael is raring to go. He wants to tell you what he calls it.
We all love to call this segment Expectations. It's the intersection between what we expected versus what we got.
Yeah, we do. And here it comes. Michael, before you watch this first episode of Our Flag Means Death, what did you expect, if anything?
Well, I expected that the show would be very funny. You've got some brilliant people attached. You got Rhys Darby, who I know from, or I first encountered in Flight of the Conchords. He plays the Conchords manager, Murray. He's a Kiwi and very funny. And then some other names that are attached. Well, one of the executive producers and the director of this episode is Taika Waititi.
Interesting.
And so that's why Ryan says that I tricked him into watching this, because he knows that I quite enjoy Taika's work. But you've also got Hodor. I don't remember his actual name, but he's
something Cairn or something like that.
I mean, he's not like necessarily a funny guy, a hilarious guy, but then he's funny in this. You've got Nat Faxon, who plays the Swede, and Ryan knows Nat Faxon's voice as, oops.
Yeah, I don't know it.
He knows Nat Faxon's voice.
Mike's playing with his mouse right now. You can hear it clicking around. He's trying to get his video back.
Click.
Okay.
I'm almost back.
Everybody's like, who's this Swedish guy? I still don't know what we're talking about.
The Swede right here. This guy is the Swede, and his voice is the voice of Elfo from Disenchantment.
Oh, very good. Well worth the wait.
Oh, there's Hodor and there's the Swede. Yeah. I should have just brought that up right away. So I thought it was going to be a funny show.
Kelly, if anything, what did you expect before you watched this first episode?
I expected it honestly to be I thought it was going to be more like The Office, like the essence of The Office meets pirates or pirate theme, Black Pearl kind of whatever. I thought it was going to be just a little bit more bigger. I get how to explain that. Bigger. My brain. Basically, I thought it was going to be like The Office meets Pirates. We're just going to go
workplace comedy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's relatively accurate, I'd say. Well, I'll tell you what I expected before I watched it.
Okay.
I feel as though Michael may have told me about this months ago or something.
I didn't remember about it for months, and I know that you didn't remember it.
Right, because you really just kind of snuck that in there. So our flag means death. So I was like, and I think Michael said, oh, it's a pirate thing. So I just thought it was a pirate thing. And I thought it was going to be like that Black Sails. I didn't even realize it was a comedy until when I went.
It was a comedy.
Yeah, but what do I remember? I don't. Whatever.
I didn't. Sorry, Ryan. I didn't know it was a comedy either.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that it said comedy, that's what I was trying to get at. I thought it was The Office meets Black Pearl. Sorry, go.
Got it. Yeah, but then when I was about to play it and I see the image behind or whatever they have on HBO Max as the thumbnail for it, I was like, oh, this is a comedy. Because they're all like, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be one of those dumb comedies where they're like everybody's dumb and it's pirate, but at least that makes it only a half hour. And I was like, what, 35 minutes? That's longer than a half hour. So I was a little whatever. Yeah, it's just whatever. So that's what I expected. I expected probably something that's dumb comedy with pirates, but it also made me a little bit more excited because that's usually easier to watch than something that's like trying to be gripping and trying to get and isn't this dark and isn't this mysterious and you have to pay attention to all these little details. You could just leave your brain at the door and watch and enjoy. So I was relieved, but that's what we expected. Michael, Kenny, and Rosenberg, can you tell the world what you actually got? No lying.
I got a show with great production value, a complex character, and lots of laughs. 3 things.
Ooh. That's nice.
Our flag means death.
Yes.
Okay. Kelly, what did you actually get upon watching Our Flag Means Death?
I got a more simple form, not as simple as what you expected, but I got a more simple form of a comedic version. Yeah. Have you guys ever seen, check out maybe this WTF. Have you ever seen Miracle Workers?
Mm-mm.
WTF Miracle Workers.
It's so fun. I mean, and every season's different. Every season has a different theme. Well, The second season is medieval themed, so as you can see, I of course have dabbled into it. But it's got like Steve Buscemi and then Daniel Radcliffe. I think they both produced. Anyways, yeah. So it is just like they literally is the exact same thing, only this is pirate themed, and that it's almost like I hope that they see it and go, oh, next season we're not doing pirate theme because I already have a show like that. So it's kind of like that. And then so it's that, and what I got was, like I said, a simpler version of what I was expecting. Ish.
Thumbs up for Steve Buscemi, by the way.
I know.
So I'll tell you what I got. What I got was at the very end, the show ends and it goes directed and executive producer Taika Waititi, and I was like, ugh. Okay. That's why Michael's always like, hey, there's this really cool new show that's all the rage. We should review this. And it's just because it's the same guy, Taika Waititi, that Mike's upset. Mike is not just obsessed with this guy. He's obsessed with making me watch this guy, because that's what it's all. He's always like, hey, there's this new pirate thing. It's all the rage. It's really important. We should definitely. Oh, good idea. Great knowledge, Michael. And I do that. And then it wasn't until the very end it says, by the way, sucker, April Fools, it's Taika Waititi. So anyway.
But what did you get though?
Well, what I got was snookered. But it was a good show. It was a good show. I laughed very little, especially at the beginning. I didn't think the humor was there. I thought every individual character and actor was very funny, but I didn't think that there were many big laughs for me, especially in the first half. But what I got was a show with heart, and that was much more prevalent in there and much more interesting to me and the characters. And I got a show that made me go, aw, and like them and want to be their friend and want to read bedtime stories for them. I'm like, what if he's sick and they need bedtime stories read to them?
The captain does the voices.
Yeah. Anyway, so I got a show with a lot of heart that was actually pretty good. But now that the ass kissery is over, everybody, it's time for the squabbles. This is where we really get you guys. People wonder, they're like, are you guys even friends with how you guys go at it when you talk about who your favorite character is? But Michael, who's your favorite character in this show?
So we call this segment Favcac. This segment is called Favcac. Who's your favorite character? Yeah, I mean, obviously Steed, but obviously Steed's the obvious one. But if I had to choose another one that I thought was the most intriguing and the most interesting character to me, it's got to be Jim. Jim.
The girl.
Hello, Jim. Yeah. Well, at the end, we find out that Jim takes off their nose, and they seem to have feminine features. So, yeah, Jim would be, besides Steed, it would be Jim.
Kelly, do you have a favorite character that you're gonna share? I really like.
Now, I was trying to cheat and look at which one his name was, but the guy who told the captain that there's mutiny afoot.
Buttons.
So, was it Buttons? Yeah, was it Buttons?
Buttons.
I love Buttons.
Cotton.
Bosom Buttons. WTF, bosom buddies.
Yep. I thought he was great, from his accent to just his whole character.
Which guy was that?
He's the guy who at the end he's got the seagull sleeping on his head.
Which guy is it? This guy?
It's
I think that's the Swede.
It's the middle. I think he's in the middle.
Oh, maybe it is him. I can't really tell by your.
Yeah, I think that's Buttons. He's the one.
Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah.
And I like the other guy, the guy who has the guy behind me. I like him too.
Oh yeah.
But if I had to save, Black Pete. Yeah. I think he's got a really funny, really great setup for a funny character. Even when we first started talking, I was like, this guy's gonna be great. But I have to admit, the award goes to Buttons in my book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Well, it's going to be tough. I'm also going to say Buttons, but the truth is that they're all my favorite characters because there were no characters that were boring or that I didn't like. They were all very good. And like, you like every one of them, and every one of them seems like that nice guy, or even if they want to burn stuff, you still like them. Every single character has that same brand of humor of like, just the nice pirate dummy, that you're like, he's an old softy. But the reason Buttons is my favorite is because as soon as he came on the screen, I was like, what the hell? Is that Ewan Bremner? Is that my boy Ewan Bremner?
It is.
He's totally different. I mean, I haven't seen him in like 20 years, but when I first saw him was back in the 90s. There was a movie called Naked that took place in England or whatever. And he was a Scottish guy, and he was so freaking funny. There's this one guy, he's like wandering the streets. Everybody at home, let us know if you know this movie. And you see Ewan Bremner walking the streets, and he's like, Maggie, Maggie. And he's like yelling for someone named Maggie. And the dude's like, hey, she's not here, mate. What do you do? He's like, Maggie, Maggie. And he's like tweaking. He's got like this weird twitch. He's like, Maggie. And he just so funny. And then the guy's like, he's like, she's not here. He's like, hey, fuck off, cunt, or whatever. It's like, it's just, you got to see that opening scene. It's so fucking fun. And he has the same, I recognize his voice immediately. I was like, that's got to be him. Anyway, so I was immediately in love with this guy.
Train Spotting and Snatch, yeah.
Right. I saw him later in Train Spotting with another Ewan McGregor. Never saw Snatch, though. Anyway.
Never saw like the Snatch from the 90s?
Yeah. Nope.
That's one of my favorite movies. You should. What does he play in? Which character is he in?
I didn't see it. It's a Guy Ritchie film. It's one of those ones with the quick cuts and.
Yeah. No, I'll have to look that up later. I will look into it. Yeah.
So that's the guy, and Hodor likes to burn stuff. But really, every single character was likable. There were no characters that you don't like, including, the bad guys or whatever. I thought the one dude was wasted because he got killed by getting stabbed in the eye. I was like, that guy was one of the best characters for sure. He was a very good actor and very funny, very Will Ferrell.
Baby Bonnet. A pirate captain.
Will Ferrell could have played that role too, especially like 20 years ago. It was a very Will Ferrell-esque thing. So, but you didn't like Buttons, huh, Michael?
Oh, I like Buttons a lot.
No. You said you liked, I don't know, the main character guy who reminded me of Martin Short, actually.
I kept thinking the same thing. I thought it was, for a second, I even thought it was him. And I was like, well, no. And then I did the IMDb and I was like, no, not him. But all I just kept seeing was Martin Short. I was like,
I'm sure he would take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? And I like that dude too that Kelly was talking about. No, this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Pete. Hi, Black Pete.
I was too on Black Pete's crew. Yeah.
It's funny. Boy, there were just a lot of, every character was fun and likable. But did you guys really have that? Well, Mike, you said you had a lot of very funny laugh out loud moments. Those were non-existent to me in the first half.
Maybe not too much in the first half, but then definitely. So I guess one part was funny when they're raiding that fishing ship, and then they're pulling Steed up, and like he's going over the rail. He's like, "Watch my buttons." It's just he's very self-conscious and about how he looks and very prissy. Watch my buttons. I don't know. It's just that was a funny line, and then. When he's talking to Jim and I forget his name, Oil One Day or something like that.
Yeah.
When he's talking to them, when he's talking to them, he's like, "Yep, some of us thrive on danger, don't we?" Like completely oblivious to the fact that they're telling him like, "You're not a pirate." And Jim's like coming at him with a knife, and then Oil One Day's like, kill shot. Yeah. Touch your balls. And I guess that same kind of scene, he's like, "Oh, yep, killing and having to kill." It was mostly just his cadences and the way that he was like deluding himself that he was a pirate.
Kelly, did you have any moments that made you laugh out loud, like what Michael said that weren't actually that funny?
Well,
Sure.
I mean, like I said, it was oddly, I didn't laugh as much. Yeah, like I said, the first, I'd say half of it, I thought it was gonna be just a little bit funnier. But at the same time, I really liked. I thought it was kind of funny, basically when they're all sitting around the dinner table, and then the captain and the other captain go in the other room, and so all of a sudden they start pulling out all of their flags that they were making, their potential flags, and they started making fun of them, and then they're like, fuck it, and then yeah, I started laughing with them.
Is that a kitty cat?
You see, for me, I thought that was the best moment of the episode, was seeing those flags. That was the cutest freaking thing. I was like, oh, he's making fun of their work that they've done all day, and they're like, well, those guys are really tough. That flag shows that they're really tough. He's like, no, what is this cat vomiting out buttons on? I'm like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. You're teaching pirates to do arts and crafts, and then this dick is making fun of them for it. They poured their hearts out on these things.
Yeah.
So I think this show was way more cute than it is funny. I think this show's freaking adorable. And that was the scene that really embodied that to me. As far as funny moments, well, when the guy's looking through the thing and he goes, and the guy covers his eye for him. That's definitely a Mike laugh moment, but I thought it was funny too. The one dude, I don't remember which character it was. There's too many of them. But there was the one guy when they were having dinner that was trying to hold the teacup, and he's like holding it like he's doing like this stuff with the teacup, and it was just, those are like the little things that make me laugh, or like the little details of this guy clearly not even understanding how to hold a teacup and saucer.
For me, the funniest line was when they brought the British captain out, laid him on the deck with the sword through his eye. And then Steed stands up and he's like, I did this on purpose.
Wow.
Nigel Badminton.
Yeah.
Did that make you laugh as well, Kelly?
Yeah. No, I thought so. He's like, yeah, I just, I did that on purpose.
On purpose.
Or like at the end where it shows all their flags up instead of none. I was like, this is the cutest damn thing I've ever seen. Everybody's a winner, and you tell those guys they were very mean, and you put up all your flags because everybody wins. That's the cutest. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It warmed my little heart. Just kidding.
See, told you.
Just kidding. I don't.
It's almost unfrozen now.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Michael. If you're being so honest about your high praise for the show, what was the worst part of the show for you? What do you think could have changed or been fixed? What parts were you like, this is terrible?
The part that I really hated was when it ended. And I was like, man, this could be longer, and this could be just so much longer, and we could watch so much more of this. And
Kelly, what was your least favorite part of the show?
My least favorite part. Well, I would.
It's okay not to have one. Yeah.
It wasn't. I will say it wasn't my least favorite part. It was just I was slightly disappointed in. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was going to be a certain type of comedy, and it ended up. Ryan said it perfectly. Ended up being cuter comedy, and yeah, I guess I kind of was hoping it would be a little bit more like
slapstick, slap your knee.
A little bit, and a little bit like I know I said wittier on what it actually ended up being, but I meant to say kind of that it was witty, but it was cute witty. I want like witty, like clever, but otherwise I liked all of the scenes in general, so just saying.
All right, Ryan, let's hear it.
I can't really
hear the nitpicking.
I mean, it could have been funnier at the beginning. I thought the ballroom was funny because there were balls in there. But my least favorite part, honestly, same as Michael, but for a different reason, which is once it ended and it said Taika Waititi, I was like, this guy just, I was like, I
had to be very sneaky.
You are
very, very sneaky.
He made it seem like, Ryan, you don't know this because you're not paying attention to this stuff, but this is a really important show. Everybody's talking about it. It's pirates, and we're like, oh, that's a good.
Well, it's new and it's pirates. That's our flavor, you know.
And then it's just that same guy again that you're obsessed with. We've done,
but here's
a quarter of our reviews are from this guy.
But here's the other thing, Ryan, that you may not be aware of is every Taika show that we've reviewed, you've liked.
Makes me want to Taika shit. Never mind. Thanks, Kelly.
Every show that Taika's, Reservation Dogs.
That's good.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Good.
Can't think of any other shows that we reviewed.
There was also that cop show too
that wasn't Taika. That was just based on the world that Taika created with
right. So it's Taika. It's Taika related or relevant.
Related, but yeah, it's really more Jermaine Clement.
Sorry, Kelly. You should never have to watch us fight like this.
Well, I'm intrigued now. Now I wanna this Taika
Waititi. Well, he mostly does movies too, and all his movies are great. So there was What We Do in the Shadows, the movie. There was Thor Ragnarok, which was probably my favorite of all the Thors. Yeah, I mean, he's everything he touches turns to solid gold.
Solid gold. Well, I'll look into it because I did like Ragnarok a lot. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, fine. Well, then Michael and Kelly, please tell us not just the funniest moment, but what was your favorite moment of the whole episode? Was there a moment that, it could be the funniest or it could be the most interesting? Was there a most interesting or favorite moment for you, Michael, Kenyon, Rosenberg?
Yes, my favorite moment, and as Ryan said, this was a very cute and heartwarming show, and the part that warmed my heart the most was at the end when Captain is reading them Pinocchio, and he's doing the voices, and what? Yeah, I'm a real boy now. He's doing the voices, and they're just all laying around, listening to it, enjoying it, and they're talking. They're like, we could kill him tomorrow. That was probably my favorite part because then they're all kind of like, he killed that guy. Okay, we can maybe let him be our captain for another day at least. So, yeah,
they said, look, it's good pay, it's easy living. Might as well enjoy it while it lasts. That was a good way to the crux of the episode, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, did you have a favorite moment?
Well, Michael mainly stole mine.
Sorry. Rude.
Well, that's okay. When you're reading the Pinocchio or whatever, and it's just wrapping up, and one of the pirates goes, the puppet pulled it off.
Yeah, Hodor said that.
Yeah, I was pretty sure Hodor said it, but
Hodor was into that story.
Yeah. It was funny.
Who's going to read us bedtime stories?
Right, because early in the episode they go, well, he does read us stories, so
But the captain does all the voices.
Yeah.
Can we light the ship on fire? I'd be disappointed if we didn't.
If you didn't.
Yeah, that's good. I think I mentioned my favorite moments. The flags part.
Yeah.
When he was making fun of the flags, and the very end closed out in a very sweet way where you see the flags and you hear the song. And it's really sweet and nice. And you're like, you little engine that could, you guys go. I'm rooting for you. Boy, don't let them give you any guff. You stand up for yourselves and you raise your flag high. You
guys are pirates.
Yeah. Well, one more thing I wanted to point out. I thought the production value actually, Michael, was low. Like the clothing they were wearing and stuff like that. It felt like their budget was a little low.
Oh yeah, look at Steed's clothing though. Steed's clothing is immaculate, and his whole quarters. He's got that library, everything to do with Steed is really what I'm talking about production value, because his costumes are top notch and his whole quarters is beautiful. The rest of it though, they're pirates. Like they're supposed to be kind of ratty and dingy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I didn't think that their clothes looked as ratty or dingy. It looked like somebody rattied it up and dinged it up, whereas somebody, you know, a lot of times these productions, they just really look like look at the guy next, you know, the Swede next to Kelly. Look at the shirt he's wearing. Looks like they just got it, you know, at Mervin's.
Yeah.
But look at Hodor too. His shirt's all dirty.
Yeah, but it looks fake dirt. Anyway, whatever. That was just my impression. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings about this.
Oh, my feelings aren't hurt.
I meant
I knew that you'd like it and you liked it. So
the costume person might be sad, but that's, you know.
The costume person's like, you try and do it with the budget I had. And that's my point, is they didn't do a bad job. It just felt like there wasn't quite the budget, but
they had these big ships, like, you know, they were on the ocean, and like that's not easy or cheap to do.
Ocean is free, you guys.
Ocean is free.
Well, the problem is actually that what made the budget so heavy was that the water that they used instead of the ocean was actually Perrier. So that's where.
Well, I think it was mixed with some Evian.
Yeah, that really built it up. Anyway, Kelly. Oh, we see some movement.
Oh, Bean.
Let's talk about you for a moment, if possible.
Yeah.
So, what's new in your life recently?
In the last month or so.
How are the stunts going?
Stunts are good. Oh, someone just puked up. Yeah, great. Great.
That's a stunt.
I know. I was like, we got
right on cue.
I know. Come on. Anyways, great. Just changing outfits. I never knew that you could celebrate poop so much. Sheep poop.
You're missing out.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, I'm between this and watching the news with my parents and hanging. I mean, I'm completely booked. You know. I mean, don't be too jealous of my life, but you know, lately, yeah, it's been you know, just kind of just living YOLO, just YOLOing, and then but I was really excited about this, and then I am doing a couple of things, little creative things. I'm trying to get into what the kids call the TikTok.
Oh boy.
We'll have to link that below.
I can't seem to figure it out. I don't know if it's the generation. I think I just missed that generation, but I can't seem to add and edit it at the same you cut it off and then try and put the music to mash up with it. Kids. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm trying. So just stay tuned, and I will keep you updated if I actually get a video on there that isn't like hello, you know, like
that's pretty good.
I was gonna say that's a winner right there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an account already though for everybody to look up and all that for when you do put up these videos? Great.
5 videos. It's at Kelly Ann Park.
Perfect. We will include that in the description box below as Mike is signaling, at Kelly Ann Park. Is there an E at the end of Ann?
Nope, just ANNPARK. And with any luck, they will see some real live action baby puke, or it's like spit up.
They already got that.
Nice. They got that.
Stay tuned for more.
That's a teaser, clickbait, you know. And then, or, you know, yeah, there'll be ones where there's. Well, I won't add the graphic, you know, poo. Like, you got to keep my account PG-13, but. You know, you just wait. You kids just wait. Things are on the horizon. Just got to get more than 2 hours of sleep.
So is this something that you'd like to kind of lean more into? Because you are quite the actress. You're very funny. You know, you were living in LA, you were acting, you were doing all that stuff. Now you're in like Iowa or some kind of place like that.
I'm doing the Midwest life right now. So what I'll probably do is I will start creating my own stuff. Mainly, you know, because I like this summer, because good old Midwest, a lot of things are weather permitting. So in LA, it was great because you're like, well, what's the weather going to be like? Warm and sunny. So here it's like, oh, great, it's April. And then this morning we got, you know, 2 inches of snow. out of nowhere. So
Wow.
yeah, I was like, oh, well, at least there's no tornadoes, you know, in comparison to the rest of the country right now. But yeah, so long story short, we're gonna start creating our own stuff. I think Bean will be my little one-eyed Jack debut. You know, babies get more hits than 30-something ladies who don't know how to TikTok, but you know,
Well, babies don't know how to TikTok either, so it's a team.
yeah, she just sits there with her like little oven mitts because she like claws herself. But there's humor, there's secrets to be had that I will expose to the world about having little tiny plants
that move and spew. Well, that's very cool. Everybody at home, make sure you check out the description box below. Follow Kelly. She's very funny, as you can see. Follow baby One-Eyed Jack. She's also very funny. She's, if nothing else, she has perfect comedic timing. We're like, Kelly, what's new with you? And baby goes, but she's like, now's my moment to shine. All right. So speaking of moments to shine, this is it, everybody. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. All the other stuff is filler. It's good stuff. It's fun. You enjoy it. But Michael knows karate chop time. It's time for the bottom line. The two most important questions of the entire show, also known as
the bottom line,
the terrible twos.
Bottom line.
Here they come. Fast and Furious. Question number 1, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give? Honestly now, our flag means death. Episode 1 entitled Pilot.
So basing this off of episode 1, I would say that this show is a 9.
Ooh.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. For all the reasons that Ryan said. It's heartwarming, it's cute. I got some laughs out of it as well. And it's cool. It's pirates, but it's funny, cool, good characters. 9 out of 10 for me.
Kelly, Mike's not being really honest, but would you please be honest and give us, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give
I'm being honest.
This first episode?
Well, I would say that I'm not a Tycho junkie like here to Rosenberg. Or Tycho. I don't see always
Tycho
Schmeika, you know.
Tycho,
yeah.
He's very handsome. If you saw him, then you'd fall in love with him, I'm sure.
I would jump on board, eh? Okay, well, let me look into that one. I might change my rating later. We'll see. No, I'm just kidding. But I will say it was funny. It wasn't necessarily my type of humor, but I still liked it. So I will rate it a 7.
It's respectable.
C.
Respectable for someone who's not a tyke addict. I don't know how you'd say that.
I haven't seen not as many as you have. So,
well, I'll tell you, on a scale of 1 to 10, I toiled with this a little bit last night, and I settled in on a checks notes 8.3.
Nice. Even after you found out I tricked you. Nice.
Yes. The strong suits are the characters, which is, I usually think, is the most important thing for getting people to want to watch more. Is you just want to see the characters even more so than the story. You got to find out what's happening to the characters or how they're reacting, or you're like, I miss my characters, and people cry when people die because they're gonna miss the character. And every one of the characters was great. The story was heartwarming and fun, and it made you feel good, and it made you feel something. It'll probably get funnier later on because you'll be like, oh, that's such a Swedish guy thing to say, or oh, wee John, he's always such a rascal. You know what I mean? You'll get to know the characters more. 8.3.
Nice.
Good pilot. Here's the even more important question. For the purposes of this podcast, we all had to watch the first episode of Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max. But now that the podcast is over and we're free to move about the internet, Michael Kenyon Rosenberg, would you, of your own volition, be honest now, watch the second episode?
I want Ryan to answer for me.
Yes, he would. Maybe he already did. Maybe he already watched this series before we even reviewed it.
Bing! All right. Ryan gets 100 points for predicting all that. I'm not like it was much of a prediction. But I will say, not based on my own opinion, but the opinion of IMDb. This first episode was rated as 7.4. The second episode was rated as 7.6. And every episode after that was rated 8 or higher. Suspected. The last episode is rated 9.2.
But that's because it's only fans of the show watching the last episode.
Wow.
Would you give the last episode a 9.2, Michael?
Actually, the last episode has more ratings than every episode before it.
Nice.
Wow.
No, there's one. The second and third episode have more people rated it. Actually, the first episode has the most ratings, but the last episode has 623 ratings, so more than the ones before that. So,
623 fans.
I can tell you that this show does get better and funnier too. I mean, there's more jokes per minute in later episodes, but then also more heart as well. So.
Well, the first episode didn't even have one joke per minute. But as we suspected, yeah, it makes sense. Sure. Kelly, would you watch the second episode of your own volition? No pressure. Mike is 2,000 miles away from you.
Through the screen. Would I watch it? I actually would watch the second episode. I would definitely give it a chance to see, just because it's not necessarily my type of humor. I still thought it was funny. And I thought I'm going to give it a little bit more just to see if it ends up like being, more laughs. Right? Right, One-Eyed Jack? Yeah.
Yeah. And there's only 10 episodes in this first season, so Ryan.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ignore what Michael said because we're not supposed to base this off of, hey, all these other guys, and then I saw the whole thing. You'd like it. Just trust me. It gets better. No, that's not part of our decision-making process. But I would watch the second episode because this show feels like comfort food. It feels like you know what to expect. You're going to watch this show and it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you happy. It's going to keep you entertained. You're going to see all your friends. They're going to have some hijinks. There are going to be some sad moments too, And there are shows like this where people watch these series because they're like, I know what to expect. It's going to make me feel good. I'm going to watch This Is Us because it's going to pull at my heartstrings. It's going to make me cry. And I like to cry every week or whatever it is. There's certain comfort food shows. And this is one. This is a very easy watch. And I bet you this is a show that you can watch multiple times because, again, it's got that comfort food value to it.
Well, I will say that there are some twists that I didn't expect. And also, one thing that I did expect that I was very pleased with is Taika Waititi shows up later in a couple episodes, I think.
So many spoilers from this guy.
As Blackbeard. He shows up as Blackbeard the pirate. And you can see him in the picture behind Ryan, all the way at the top, just left of the Swede.
This guy?
I can't see where you're pointing.
This guy?
Yep.
Oh. So that's the handsome guy he was telling you about, Kelly. Feast your eyes.
Yeah. If you can squint, you can kind of see.
Boy, oh boy. Anyway, that really enticed me. So I'm
not trying to entice you. I'm trying to entice other people who may be fans of Taika's as well. You will see some Taika.
You will see Taika.
Taiko City is a city on the moon in Star Trek. Okay, everybody, that's it for us. Please be sure if you'd like us to review a series in the comments below, just type in WTF Smurfs or WTF Empty Nest or WTF Scooby-Doo, I think Michael was saying, but don't do that one.
Yeah. Oh, Fraggle Rock. WTF Fraggle Rock. Ryan would hate to watch that. And I would love for him to hate to watch that.
So what I'm trying to say is this podcast was heartwarming and pukey.
This podcast was cute with the baby.
This podcast was a surprise that this is the first time where both co-hosts liked the show a lot in my experience as being a guest.
It's a rare occurrence. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, usually we duke it out so hard.
So yeah, but that a little surprise hashtag baby vomit.
Yeah, Michael and I are like Siskel and Egbert. We're always just duking it out. Well, thanks for joining us, Kelly, and everybody at home. Follow Kelly, hook her up on TikTok. It's going to be awesome. And remember what Mr. Michael Kenyon Rosenberg always likes to say.
Don't forget to register to be an organ donor at donatelife.net. Good knowledge, Ryan. And also, just don't forget to watch the first of Our Flag Means Death and any show that Taika Waititi is associated with. And also watch the first of Other Things.
Do you remember the good old days of watching Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, and all those guys on Jackass? Well, they are back finally in Jackass Forever.
My favorite was Steve-O. He just did the craziest stunts.
Hey, Jackass Forever, now on Blu-ray. Check it out, everybody. You'll be glad you did.